Greetings everyone, Megan and Zilla here, back with another figure review. Today we have the Hiya Toys 2024 MonsterVerse Kong! This version of King Kong first appeared in Kong Skull Island back in 2017, which shows that he is the last of his kind, the lonely protector of Skull Island, who protects the Iwi natives from a multitude of threats, including skullcrawlers. In Godzilla vs. Kong, released in 2021, this grizzled and lonely gorilla is able to find a new home in the Hollow Earth, which we see him explore in Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, as he goes on a perilous journey to find more like himself. This is the box, which has a pretty cool pose of him on the front, with some nice Hollow Earth crystals in the back, just his name on the side, and only one picture of him on the back. Well, these are pretty cool bananas. Moving on to the sculpt and the paint application, this is a very well sculpted action figure of King Kong. As you can see, he's got biceps to spare, he's got scars across his chest and his back. You can see all of his furs are sculpted very well, the texturing is good, he's got the beard, and his eyes sport that very orangey, amber-like color.
When I look at this monkey...
They use a bit of a clear plastic to show a bit of a shine on the eyes. Very well done. The browns and the grays are painted just right, and I'm going to talk about these in the accessories section, but they even have like small little details done right too, like the scars on his palm, and the metal tooth he gets during the beginning of GXK. Now for some reason his right hand appears to have a shinier paint job than his left. I didn't realize this when I first got him, but I think this is because this is the hands that gets frostbitten by Shimo, so I think that's why it looks like that. When it comes to articulation, Kong has plenty of joints to move at. He can move left and right on the head, up and down, all the way around if you wanted some Exorcist action going on. He has a curl of the biceps, able to scratch his head and think, or face palm actually. You can use this as a meme. His hands swivel all the way around. He has a bit of an ab crunch, which will be very important for getting him in the proper position for the flexibition. His legs can move in and out this far. His feet cannot really move all the way around, and his legs can spread about this far. So you can have him sit down, like so. And he is somewhat capable of T-posing as well. In terms of accessories, you've already seen a few of them, but this cranky monkey comes with 3 interchangeable heads, which are relatively easy to pop on and off. 1 neutral, 1 angry, and 1 really angry. He's got a pair of hands for knuckle walking, a pair of fists, 2 open hands, including the frostbitten one I mentioned earlier, and 2 partially opened hands for him to hold things with. Now, it takes a lot of heat to get this figure to move. I didn't mention that in the articulation section, but yeah, you're going to want to use like a hair dryer to get him to move with all the flexibility. But this is the axe made from the spike of a Godzilla-like creature. They don't like to acknowledge that Godzilla is a species in this universe, no matter how much they try to deny it. We miss you, Dagon, also. And if you hold it up to the light, you can see that it has a nice transparency effect, as it does glow when it takes in atomic energy. Even the rest of the bone is translucent too. In terms of scaling, Kong stands at 6 inches tall. And in terms of pricing, Kong was listed at a retail price of $51, but you also have to factor in shipping and handling because it does come from China, after all. So as you've probably been able to tell from this review, this action figure has some balance issues. As you can see, I'm not exactly having him standing up straight because, well, he can't. He has to stand at a bit of an angle, a bit hunched over. And I do understand that, gorillas and many primates, they don't usually stand upright, but Kong is a fictional animal, so you'd think that they'd be able to work out that kind of thing with his positioning in the proper position. I mean, his feet are flat, so you think he'd be able to stand upright and balance just fine, but the problem is, when they designed him, they didn't design his legs to be able to bend far back enough to do that. As I mentioned in the articulation section, his ankles don't really have much movement at all. I don't know, maybe my figure's just really stiff, but yeah, it's hard to move him and stuff. So you have to get him just right for him to be able to stand. You just couldn't stand to sit in the stands. Not to mention, he's pretty bulky, so he is a bit top-heavy with all the muscles on him. So yeah, if you intend on using this Kong for stop motion, I would advise that you would have the patience of a saint to deal with stuff like this. Like this positioning, this pose, this stature is what you're going to want if you want to make stop motions with this guy. Otherwise, I'd just leave him on for display. Now for some size comparisons. Here he is with the NECA 1933 King Kong, who is still ridiculously tall. If this is Donkey Kong, this is Lanky Kong. He has no style, he has no grace. This Kong has a funny face. And this Kong will end the human race. Which brings me to the Playmates Scar King. These guys sort of scale up well. I mean, Kong stands at 103 meters tall, whereas Scar King stands at 97 meters tall, so it's mostly accurate. This is a comparison that will probably be more accurate when the Hiya Toys Scar King comes out. And I do not have the Monster Arts Scar King because I don't want it.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Here he is next to the Playmates 2005 King Kong, which was the one who fought against Pteranodon. And here he is next to the Playmates 2005 King Kong that fought the Juvenile V-Rex. Me like blonde white woman. Here he is with the Hiya Toys 2019 MonsterVerse Godzilla, and I think they size mostly well. I think, like, for the most part, Kong is meant to be up to Godzilla's shoulders. Here he is right next to the SH Monster Arts 2014 Godzilla. Here he is next to the Playmates MonsterVerse Mechagodzilla. I don't have the SH Monster Arts one, so this is all you get for now. Here he is next to the Grim Dragon Ready Player One Mechagodzilla, who I might make an entire video of to tell you why you shouldn't buy this. Here he is next to the Playmates Suko and Doug, which I feel like Suko could be a little bit shorter, and Doug could be a little bit bigger. This stole my lunch. And here he is with the Hiya Toys Shimo, quadrupedal, and bipedal. I think if they made Shimo like maybe this tall, it would have been better. But, oh well. Here he is next to the NECA MonsterVerse Mothra, Emerald Titan Edition. And because they met in the comics, here he is next to the Hiya Toys MonsterVerse Rodan, who I may or may not do a review of next. Here he is with the Hiya Toys MonsterVerse King Ghidorah, which I have a little theory right here. You know how in like the Toho movies, like the older ones, King Kong was able to use electricity powers because, you know, he was originally meant to be Frankenstein's monster? What if, for some reason, the Beast Glove, which this figure does not come with, that's another one, what if it injected Ghidorah cells into Kong's body and now he can utilize electricity like him? Wouldn't that be crazy? I wonder if they're going to do that in Supernova. Here he is with the Playmates Alpha Skullcrawler. Well, I guess in this context, it would be a number 10 due to the increased size here. Here he is with the 2006 Safari Octopus because there are no toys of the Meyer Squid. And lastly, the entire reason I wanted to make this video, here he is next to the SH Monster Arts 2021 Kong. So, there is quite the difference in quality between these two. While this Kong does have better balance, and, you know, I do like the paint on the axe a little better, even though it doesn't have the transparency effect. This Kong, I don't know, he's not a terrible action figure by any means, but it's very clear that when SH Monster Arts makes their figure sculpts, they put a lot more attention to detail and heart into the Toho monsters than they do with the American kaiju. Although, they did do a damn good job on the 2005 Kong. I don't have that one though. But yeah, even like the paint doesn't look as good on this Kong. And the sculpting, not as good either compared to the Hiya Toys version. So, yeah, that's why I wanted to make this. Also, he's shorter. I don't know why they made the MonsterVerse Godzilla and Kong figures shorter than they should be, if they're going to be in scale with the other ones. So in closing statements, I'd like to say that the Hiya Toys 2024 Kong is a fine addition to your kaiju collection. I must say I do have some bias for this incarnation of the character, as he is my favorite incarnation of King Kong, right above the 2005 version from Peter Jackson's film. But yeah, with a fantastic sculpt and paint job, with a great range of articulation and good sense of scale, I would definitely recommend this action figure of the 8th wonder of the world. So, if you made it to the end, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.
Throw the child.